Welcome back, y'all. We are making the cutest little PJ set today. This is actually pretty easy to make. I'm gonna walk you through the entire process. The fabric that I'm using is this double gauze fabric from Long & Craft. Long & Craft is an online fabric store, and you can get a little 10% off discount by clicking the link in my description box and using the code FABRIC10 at checkout to get 10% off. Okay, so let's just start. We are gonna start by taking a few basic measurements because yes, we are drafting this pattern by ourselves. First, we're taking our above bust measurement. So this is above your bust. You want this to be snug enough to where your top is gonna stay on, but you want it to be loose enough to where you can breathe. My above bust is 36 inches. And now we're gonna take the half above bust. So just cut that in half, and that is your half above bust. See this little band on the above bust? We need to get the width of that measurement. So you can make this however wide you want. I wanted to make mine about 2 inches. Now we need to get our length measurement. So this is from our neckline to roughly our hem. I always leave more room than expected because you can always shorten the top as you go. Next, we're gonna get a measurement for the straps. This can be tough if you don't have a buddy to help you. Mine is about 12.5 inches, and we're done. I have 4 yards of this fabric, but I used about half of it. The amount will vary depending on your size. So I'm gonna lay my fabric out. I have my fabric folded in half with the selvage edges together. We're gonna first cut this main top piece. And as you can see, it has little gathers, so we need to make it wider than expected. So here's a little formula for the width of the top. You're gonna take your half above bust, for me it was 18 inches. You're gonna add 4 inches for extra room for gathers, and then you're gonna add 1 inch for seam allowance. For me, this width is 23 inches, or if I'm cutting it on the fold, it'll be 11.5 inches, which I am cutting it on the fold. You're gonna mark that width. And for the length, this is however long you wanted that hem to be. Mine is about 10.5 inches. So you're just gonna draft a basic rectangle shape. And since this is for the front of the body, I always like to give a little curve, kind of tapering into the armhole. You can just do a rectangle if you want, but I think the curve adds a little bit more shape. Okay, now I'm cutting my front top piece on the fold. All right, now for the top back, I'm just gonna take that piece and trace it exactly, almost exactly. But since this piece is for the back, we don't really need that armhole curve, so I'm gonna just fold that down and make a basic rectangle shape for the back. You just wanna make sure the side seams are the same length, because those will be connected eventually. Okay, I'll cut that piece out, and now we have our top back. Okay, now let's cut this above bust band. So for the length, the formula for this is your half above bust plus 1 inch for seam allowance. Super easy. So for me, that was 19 inches long. And for the width, make this however wide you want the band to be plus 1 inch for seam allowance. So for me, that's 3 inches. And we need 4 pieces just like this. 2 pieces for the outside and 2 pieces for the lining. Moving on to the straps, you're gonna make these however long you want your straps plus 1 inch for seam allowance, and however wide you want them plus 1 inch for seam allowance. We need to cut 4 straps, 2 for the outside and 2 for the lining. And last, we need to cut some strap ruffles. For the width, I want my ruffles to be 2 inches plus 1 inch for seam allowance. And then for the length, the basic rule of thumb for ruffles is to cut them 1.75 to 2 times the length you want the finished ruffle to be. So my strap is 16 inches, so I'm gonna just do a little math equation, 16 times 1.75, and cut my 4 strap ruffles, 2 for the outside, 2 for the lining. One other thing is you see how my little ruffles are kind of tapered. They have like a curved edge. I'm gonna cut that now. So I'm gonna fold my strips in half, put them together so I can cut 2 at a time. And I'm just gonna kind of freehand a little curve here on the edges. So now our strips should look like this. Let's start sewing. I'm gonna start by putting my ruffle pieces right sides together, and I'm gonna pin them along those curved edges. And we're gonna sew all along those pinned edges. Now, you see this little seam allowance we have? It's a little bit long, which will make our ruffles bulky. So I'm gonna cut this seam allowance in half. So now when we flip our ruffles right side out, they can lay nice and flat. So I'm gonna press these flat, and to make them look nice, I'm gonna do another seam all along this curved edge again. And look how nice they look. Okay, now we're gonna gather this long straight edge. On your sewing machine, we're gonna use a straight stitch, make the length as long as it will go, keep the width at 0, and the tension, I'm gonna make it as tight as it will go. So I'm making it a 9. Now, this is a new technique I learned, but basically you grab onto the thread with your fingers right here, and as you sew, you just hold on tightly to the thread. And what this does is it puts extra tension on the thread and creates gathers as you sew. It's such an easy way to make ruffles. I like to keep a long thread tail at the beginning and end, and we're gonna do this to both ruffle pieces. All right, now let's connect it to our shoulder straps. So I'm taking one of my shoulder straps and I wanna actually start my ruffle a few inches in. If you look at this little demonstration here, you see how my ruffle doesn't go all the way to the edge? On the back, it does go all the way to the edge, but I would actually recommend not putting it all the way against that edge. It kind of creates more bulk there at the end. So I would recommend ending this ruffle right about here, like 1 or 2 inches in the back. So I'm gonna place my ruffle right sides together on one of my strap pieces, and you can pull and gather this ruffle however much you want to make it fit. I'm just gonna pin it right sides together to my strap. Once that's pinned, we can go ahead and sew them along those edges. Okay, now we're gonna add our other strap piece on top, right sides together. So the ruffle should be sandwiched between these two pieces, and we're gonna sew it all along this edge once again. Now again, there's a little bit of bulk there, so I'm gonna trim this seam allowance in half. So now when we flip this strap right side out, we have our cute little ruffle sandwiched in there. And the last thing we have to do for the straps is finish the other edge. So all I'm gonna do is fold the edge in by about 1/2 inch and press it down. I'll flip it around and do the same thing to the other one. And now these pieces will lay together nice and flat. We'll sew a little seam there and close it up. And now our shoulder straps are done. Moving on to the above bust band, I'm gonna put 2 pieces right sides together and sew them down the side seams. And I'll do the same thing for the lining piece. And this is a good time to try this on. Make sure it actually fits, make sure it's nice and snug. Making sure those side seams are right near my armpits. I'm now gonna take my strap and try to get the placement for my straps. Now you might need a buddy for this. I did not have a buddy present, so I tried my best to mark where I wanted to put my straps. Okay, once that's done, I'm gonna transfer those little spots over on my outside piece as well as my lining piece. And now we can attach our straps. It's gonna feel a little bit weird, but we're gonna put the strap face down, right sides together. I'm gonna pin my front strap on the left side and on the right side. And I'm just gonna sew it right there where we pinned it. And make sure you're only sewing that one layer and that you're not catching the back of the band in it. All right, once that's done, we're gonna flip the straps over to the back side of the band, and now we're gonna pin it to the back, also right sides together. And I'm just gonna sew along those pinned edges until we have what looks kind of like a bra. Okay, taking this piece with the right side facing up, the pretty side facing up, I'm gonna now take my lining band piece and flip it around so that it is wrong side facing up. And I'm gonna match up the side seam on the lining and on the outside piece. And I'm gonna pin it right sides together to my other piece. So the straps should be sandwiched in the middle, and I'm just gonna pin it all around. Once that's done, I'm gonna sew the whole circumference of this piece, which will connect our lining band piece to the outside of the band piece. Once again, you know the drill. We're gonna cut the seam allowance in half to get rid of some of the bulk. And now when we flip our pieces right side out, we have a little lining and it looks super neat and professional. And our straps are nice and sandwiched in the middle. I'm gonna iron this nice and flat. And this is not necessary, but I'm gonna do a little seam right along this top edge just to make it look nice, also for extra security. All right, the last thing we have to assemble for the top is the main top piece. So I'm putting the top front and the top back right sides together, and I'm gonna connect them down the side seams. And this would be a good time to finish your raw edges if you want to use a zigzag stitch. I have a serger, so I'm going to go ahead and serge my side seams. And now we're going to do another ruffle all along this top edge of our top. So just like we did before, length on 4, tension on 9, and we're going to hold onto the thread, and this will gather our top as we sew. Again, leaving a long thread tail. Now, if you're thinking, how do I connect this to the top piece? There is a hard way and there's an easy way. So for the easy way, you could literally just shove this piece in right sides together and sew it all around, which would connect it, but then you'll have all these little messy raw edges, and you might not want that. So the harder way is really not that hard. We're gonna separate the lining band from the outside band piece, and now we're gonna stick the little top skirt piece in right sides together and pin it to just one of the bands, to just the outside band piece, not the lining band piece. Match up the side seams and pin it all around. This will make a little bit more sense in just a second. So you can pull on the ruffle or gather it more to make it fit the exact width of your band piece. Okay, now I'm gonna sew this entire circumference. So now when we lay our top out, the outside is all connected and looks nice and beautiful. If we flip it to the inside, our lining is not yet attached. So again, easy and hard way to do this. You could just fold this edge down and sew it on the inside of the fabric all around, which will close up this edge and connect everything. But you're gonna see this ugly little seam on the outside of your fabric, and you might not want that. So the harder way to do this is called stitch in the ditch. On the inside of our shirt, we're gonna fold this raw edge down, and we're just gonna cover that seam by about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch and pin it down. I'm gonna go all around the shirt doing this, folding the lining in and pinning it down. Now it's all pinned on the inside, we need to transfer these pins to the outside of the fabric. So I'm gonna leave all those pins in and just add more pins in the ditch, in that little crack on the outside of the fabric. Once the pins are transferred over, we can take them out on the inside. And if anything kind of fell apart, you can go ahead and fix that now. And now all we have to do is stitch in the ditch. So this is the ditch. This is a common sewing thing. I didn't just make this up. This is the ditch. We're sewing in the ditch. So what this does is it gives you a nice invisible seam on the outside, but it connects everything that you need connected. And the last step for the top is to hem the bottom of it. So I'm just folding it up by 1/2 inch, ironing it down, and folding it up again by 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew this edge. Hi, quick interjection. Upon editing this video, I realized that in the shorts portion, I pretty much completely stopped mentioning when to finish your raw edges. So the top had a lining, so we barely had to finish those raw edges, but the shorts do not have a lining, and we're using woven fabric, and that tends to fray. So whether you're using a zigzag stitch, an overcast stitch, or I'm using a serger, it's important to finish your raw edges as you sew to protect them from fraying and to just make your garments last longer. So I'm just gonna throw text on the screen as we go and say when to finish your raw edges, and hopefully that will make sense. And if you made it this far in the video, good job, 2 thumbs up. Okay, bye-bye. Our top is done. The shorts are so easy to make. I'm kind of gonna fly through the process. I'm gonna use a pair of elastic shorts for reference. I'm gonna fold them in half and trace the shorts front. So I'm just tracing it all around, kind of stretching that waistband out as I trace because I wanna get the most accurate measurement for the width. Now I'm gonna take a ruler and straighten my lines. I'm also adding 1/2 inch seam allowance all around. At the end, I'm gonna add a little 1/2 inch elastic on the top. So take into account however much room you need for your elastic. And we're gonna cut out 2 shorts front pieces. I'm gonna do the same exact thing for the back side of the shorts, stretching out the waistband as I trace. For the back, you wanna make sure to pull out that crotch seam as much as you can so that you can trace right along the seam line. I'm gonna add 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I always double check to make sure that the side seams match up because those will be connected. You also want to make sure that the inseam is the same length. I don't think I double checked mine and I had to adjust that later on, so definitely check that. Okay, now that we have all of our shorts pieces, we need to cut 2 long strips for the ruffle. So to do that, I'm gonna measure the circumference of the leg, basically. So using the left leg front and the left leg back, I'm gonna take the measurements of both. So that will give me the circumference of one whole leg, which was about 28 inches. I'm gonna make it easy and just double this measurement. So I need to cut my ruffle piece 50 inches. And I'm cutting my ruffle at 2.5 inches wide. Because since I showed you one technique to make a ruffle in the beginning of this video, I'm gonna show you another technique now. And that only requires 1/2 inch for seam allowance. And it's just a basic rolled hem. Basically, I'm gonna do 1 long seam at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I'm gonna fold the edge in and press it down, and sew another seam right along that first seam. I'm gonna trim off the excess fabric and then just roll it in as I sew, and this will create a really skinny rolled hem. Now let's connect our shorts. So I'm taking the shorts front and the shorts back piece for the right leg, and I'm putting them right sides together. And I'm pinning them along the side seam. And I'll do the same thing for the left leg, shorts front and shorts back piece together. And I'm just gonna sew them all along the side seams. Once that's done, I'm gonna open my shorts piece up, and now is the time to attach the ruffle. So you can pull on the ruffle or gather it more to make it fit the exact width of your shorts. I'm gonna pin and sew this ruffle all along the edge, right sides together. And now I'll press it nice and flat. And now I'm gonna fold my shorts right sides together and connect them at the little inseam. Once both shorts are sewn like that, now we can attach them together. So I'm putting one of the short pieces inside the other piece so that they're right sides together. I'm gonna line up the inseam and pin that. And now that little U shape all along the crotch, I hate saying that word, that is where we're gonna pin and sew. Once that's sewn, I'm gonna clip little tiny triangles into that curve. This helps our little crotch seam be able to, move. All right, and our last step, we just need to gather these shorts. So I'm using 1/2 inch elastic. I'm gonna take my waist measurement, and I'm gonna cut a piece of elastic about 3 inches shorter than that. Now I'm gonna try this on again. You wanna make sure that it's snug enough, again, to fit around your waist, but big enough to where you can fit it over your booty. Trim off any amount that you need until we have a perfect fit. Now, taking some chalk, I'm gonna mark the halfway point on my elastic, and then I'm gonna mark the quarter point, and then the other quarter point. So we should have 3 marks on our elastic. I'm gonna line that middle point up with the center front, the quarter point up with one of my side seams, and the other quarter point with my other side seam. And then I'll connect the edges on the other side. I'm using a zigzag stitch to do this and moving my width to a 5. And as always, I'm gonna pull on my elastic gently as I sew. This is how we get the nice gathered effect. You have to pull on the elastic as you sew, securing it with a good back stitch. And now to finish that raw edge, I'm just gonna fold the edge down and sew it again. This time using a straight stitch, but again, stretching it as I sew. This will give us a nice stretchy, good fit. And now our PJ set is completely done. The top is so flowy and comfortable. I love the little ruffles. This feels so feminine and cute. I love how this PJ set turned out. I don't know if I'm bold enough to wear this out in public, I'm gonna be honest, but I will be wearing this in the comfort of my house. And it's like modest enough to where, oh, someone comes over, I'm wearing this, that's fine. But it's like not modest enough to where it's comfortable to sleep in. Do you know what I mean? That's girl math. Also, I got to work with Long & Craft to make this video, so they provided the beautiful double gauze fabric, and they were generous enough to give a 10% discount if you click the link in my description box and use the code FABRIC10 at checkout to get 10% off. They sell tons of fabric by the yard. They have a really amazing inventory of fabric, and I think you'll love them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!